So for our name project, I want to go over how to do your name in block letters. We're going to start with our paper up and down or vertical, and we're going to write our name, whatever you choose to use, your first or last. We're going to write it diagonally. So we're going to start on the left side and write it up towards the right corner. You could even start in the left bottom corner and go up. We're first going to print our letters, just normal printing like you guys have been doing since kindergarten. I want you to write the letters fairly big and space them out a little bit. Put a little bit of space, maybe about a finger's width of space in between each letter. That's going to give you room to make them bigger. So then, and don't do this part too dark. Make sure you're doing this lightly so you can erase. So we're going to take our pencil and we're going to trace around the outside of the letter first. And then if it has an inside, like a B would, we make that shape on the inside. Some letters, like the R, are not going to have an inside. And it's okay if they touch. O's are pretty easy, just the outside and the inside. And I'm going to turn my paper so you guys can see what I'm doing here. K. And at the ends, you can make a line that goes straight across. Beside the line, you're going to go straight down. You're basically going in the same direction or parallel to the other line. And then an S, you want to follow the shape of the S. At the end, go straight. Follow the shape of the S, straight at the other end. Okay, so that's pretty much the way the tracing of your letters will work. After you've done that, you're going to go back inside and erase all of this. I will do that and we'll come back and see what we need to do next. So we've erased all the lines inside of the letters, and now you can see I've got my what I call block letters. So what we're going to do now is we're going to trace around this whole thing as if it's one big shape. So I'm going to start over here at the beginning of my name, and I'm going to come and follow the outside of this line as close as I can. Where there's a space, you can just go across. You could go up in there, but I'm just going to go across. If you want to curve around the curvy letters, you can. Curve around the bottom edges of them, like so. And then we're going to do that all the way around the top. And back to where we started. So now it's like our name is kind of in a little bubble to itself, okay? So now, this is optional. You can choose to do this if you want to, but it's kind of like we're making it look like graffiti. So, and we'll talk a little bit about what graffiti is if you don't know, but I think most of you will know what the word graffiti means. But graffiti is usually done with spray paint, and you would have some drips. So if you want to add some drips, and the drips can go any way you want them to. Just little wiggly lines. And you wouldn't want to add them everywhere. Just think about how, if you've ever seen paint actually drip off of something. You can make some of them longer than others. That'll give you some variety. But if you want to leave this part out, you don't have to put the drips, okay? I just thought that would be a nice touch since we're going to give it kind of a graffiti look. So we've already used the element of line quite a few times during this picture. We've traced the lines, we've made straight lines, vertical lines, horizontal lines. We've even made some wiggly lines if we did the drips. Now we're going to finish the background by putting some patterns back there, and we will be using lines that repeat for some of those patterns. So what we're going to do first, before we start that, is I want you to divide the background up so that we have at least 4 sections. Okay, and you can make these lines wiggle or zigzag if you'd like, but I'm just gonna make mine straight. So I've divided it up. I've got 4 sections back here. okay? And I can put patterns in each one of them. On your table, you're going to have a sheet that looks like this that has pattern examples, front and back. There's different ones. So look through those and see which ones you like the best, and we'll add a different one to each section. So I have finished my background. If you want to put two of the same pattern, like I did the bricks, because I thought that would look nice with the graffiti, just don't put them right beside each other. You want to put them in the vertical squares, so the opposite squares. So two different corners, either these two or these two, and then pick out something different for the others. And once you've done all this, we'll move on and we will trace with a black Sharpie.